Welcome to the official Tennis.com podcast featuring professional coach and community leader, Kamau Murray.
Welcome to the Tennis.com podcast. I'm your host, Kamau Murray, and we are here with the last person to actually beat Ash Barty. Maybe you send him to retirement. Shelby Rogers.
Oh my gosh, I love it. That's my claim to fame now. It's so good. Like when she announced her retirement, my Twitter blows up like, oh my gosh, this girl, they'll beat her. I'm like, what?
So did you know that? Because like 2021, it's like y'all couldn't get away from each other. You kept like drawing each other. You played her 5 times. And the last time you were like, okay, fuck this, I got to beat her. So like,
yeah, I literally told her like the next time we play, can it at least be in a final or something? Because I was playing really well last year, you know, and I kept running into the one person that was like beating me, but like kicking my butt every time, you know? And so then US Open, I saw the draw and I was like, all right, I want to get to play Ash Barty again. I want to beat her. Like I want to show her what the USA is about, you know? And oh my gosh, then it ended up being this like epic match, right? And then she's done. I'm like, what just happened? That's crazy. I never thought I would be the last person, for sure.
I know. See, now that you've said it, she's, you know, she likes to prove a point. She's going to come back one more time and be like,
hey, Shelby, you want to do an XO? And be like, no.
she's going to ask her, I'll come play one more event, but I got to draw Shelby first round so I can like avenge it.
Yeah. No, but it's honestly the only person too where you can't even be upset when you lose to her because she's so stinking nice off the court, right? And she's like such a gracious winner and loser. And so like 5 times in a row and you can't even be upset. It's just like, dang it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So since you clearly had like the magic potion, now that she's retired, she won't care if you give out the secrets now. What do you think, having played her the most of anybody last year, what's it like to play her and what opportunities do you see to beat her?
Yeah, so the last match I played her, clearly my game doesn't match up well with hers, like 0 for 5 at that point. So I was like, okay, what can I do differently that she's maybe not going to be ready for or that could like throw her off a little bit? And we were on Ash that night. And it was just playing super slow. The balls were heavy, like you could not hit a winner, which isn't ideal for me. Probably plays right into her hand. So I actually started throwing in some like high balls and like mixing it up with some angles and like just being really patient with the slice, I think is the one thing that's important against her because everybody wants to break down her backhand side, but her whole career is about defending it with the slice and working you around the court. She knows exactly what she wants to do and you play right into it. So just being really patient with the slice and looking for your opportunities. But yeah, I mixed in some high balls, which was like super uncomfortable for me. But that night it just ended up working. I don't know.
No, you're so right. So in 2017, I think Sloan played her in like 2nd or 3rd round. And it was like, all right, look, we're going to just play the forehand. It's like, that's the dumbest thing ever. I'm going to play the backhand. I'm like, no, the backhand, she makes you think. Yeah. And she can like kind of throw you off. Yeah. If you like make it a boxing match, then you win the boxing match. Just play the forehand because it's more predictable. She doesn't like create as much with it. It's more like, okay, ball's right here, cross court, blah, blah, blah. It's like, so actually play the forehand.
And it's a ball you're more used to hitting because not a lot of players use the slice all the time. So it's a very big weapon for her to use. So breaking down that side doesn't make sense. It was the same when I played Carla Suarez Navarro. I'm like, oh, I'm going to break down her one-handed backhand. No, you're not. That thing is solid. So yeah, definitely tried to change up the game plan for sure. But look, my record's not great. I'm just glad I got her one time.
Well, you got the one, you got it at US Open, you got it on Ash. If there's any time to get it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's in America, in New York City.
And being down 2 breaks in the 3rd set. Like that's wild. That's against all odds, I think.
So like, talk about against all odds. Your 2021 was like amazing, right? And even like your clay court season, people don't look at Shelby and they're like, yeah, she's gonna put the ball past you. She's gonna bang you here, bang you there. People like don't really look at Shelby and say, oh yeah, great clay court player. So tell me about the last 2 years. Like what's changed where you've become someone so consistent and someone that's not seeded, people like draw you like, oh, I gotta play Shelby.
Yeah, well, that's the goal, right? I would like to be seeded this year eventually at some point. But I think, you know, again, my game, it's always been one that can kind of beat any player on any day. It's just trying to find that word you said, consistency, is what everybody is going after, right? Week after week after week, trying to produce good results. And I think the clay court season really exposes that with a lot of people because there's so many changes, and it's a really tough transition. But I mean, I grew up in Charleston playing on green clay, actually. So I actually developed my game on the clay. And my few first good results were on red clay. I mean, I made my first Grand Slam quarterfinal was at the French Open. The first red clay court tournament in juniors I ever played, I won. So, I have a lot of really good memories on the clay, which helps too. If you have this just angry mentality towards the clay, it's just not going to work out no matter how good your game is or how well you move or anything. If you don't like it within yourself, it's just not going to work. If you're stepping on the court and it doesn't feel right, it doesn't work. So I think having a good attitude is a very large part of the clay court season. Same with grass, right? Any sort of large transitional change, you got to have a really good mindset.
So obviously now you're a veteran on the tour, right? That's
yeah, I'm getting old. Thanks, Kamau.
That move, right?
Just say it like it is. I'm getting old.
We both getting there. We traveled all these good places, bad places. So now that you've been all around the world, you've played 125s, 250s. What is the one place where it was okay, this is not a Grand Slam, but I love coming here? And one place where you're I never want to go back there.
Oh, that's such a good question. I think up there for me has got to be, we used to have a tournament in Austria that was amazing in Bad Gastein. Amazing tournament there. Just the scenery for me was a nice change. Mountains, and then you have rivers. You had a little bit of everything. Really cool tournament. I'm going to name all the tournaments we don't have anymore. Because we used to play in Rio too, where the guys still are now. And I loved Rio. Really, really cool city there. Where do I never want to go back? I mean, a couple of the first pro tournaments I ever played were pretty brutal, some of the ITFs, but we don't have to go there. We don't have to go there.
So PC, Shelby. You're totally towing the line right now.
I mean, okay, St. Joseph, Missouri. I played a tournament there, and that was pretty brutal. Let's be honest.
The Midwest is brutal, Missouri, Peoria. I can think of some of the challengers. It was this place kind of sucks.
And then, actually, surprisingly, we have one in Midland, Michigan. You think it would be miserable because of the snow, and it's in February, but it's actually so nice because the whole community gets around the tournament. And I think those are the best ones that stand out to players, is when the staff, the community, everybody kind of gets involved. It's sort of this, hometown feeling. It's very, welcoming, and they treat the players well. Those are the player favorites, I think. When you go there and it's just cold and difficult to get around, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Some of the tournaments in Europe can be tough, I think. But yeah, I don't know if I can say it, but the tournaments in China are always tough for me. It's just a big culture shock, I think. The food's tough, time zone's tough. Yeah,
Jet
but
lag.
I mean, again, if you have a good mindset, it fixes a lot of things, I think.
So when you land in the city, right, obviously everyone has their food things, right? They put their bag down, unpack a few things, then you look for certain types of food. What's the first thing you look for when you land in the city and see what's close to you?
I love finding a good tea spot because I don't drink coffee. I think it tastes like dirt. Sorry, guys. So I like to find a good matcha or, something, cool little cafe to go to. I think that's a lot of fun in the morning, or an acai bowl, avocado toast, super trendy. And then some players like to eat the same things every day, but I like to try a bunch of new stuff. So good restaurants. I'm always on, TripAdvisor, looking up reviews, trying to plan out my eating schedule, So yeah.
You've been on tour so long now. You should know where everything is by now.
Yeah, but I like to try new stuff. That's the thing. So I'm always trying to, find a new attraction or, try to do one thing new each week. That's kind of my rule.
So what's the one place in Charleston that's got good avocado toast? It's right down the street.
Beach. It's right across the street.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so good. Acai bowls, avocado toast. I think Sloan posted about it the other day.
Yeah, and made me go every morning and go get it. Can you go get my avocado toast from this place? I'm like, oh.
You can walk there. It's not that far. Yeah, it's a good spot. But I mean, gosh, we're so fortunate to go to so many amazing places. It's the bucket list. You're just check, check, check.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
So who's the one player we know people fear you, but who's the one player when the draw comes out, other than an obvious seed and other than Ash, that you're I don't want to play this person. Please don't let me play this person.
Oh, that's a great question. and I'm not gonna give you an obvious answer. I think
I
think another like dark horse consistently is Kaya Kanepi, because she's just like, if she's on, like you can't do anything. You know what I mean? She hits the ball so clean and can just rip the cover off the ball, and she can serve really well. So I think she's a dark horse a lot of the time.
So her sister lives in Chicago.
Okay.
So she came to Chicago for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Practiced at the club. The nicest person ever, right? So I went out on the court, helped her out a little bit. I'm like, what do you want to do? She says, whatever you think. I'm like, well, I'm not your coach. What do you want to do? Whatever you say. I'm like, I've never had a player.
That's amazing.
Say whatever you say. She says, really? I say, yeah, no, I always get people to say no. Go f yourself. I'm not doing that. Like, no one ever says yes.
The most coachable player in the world right there.
I was like.
Younger sister?
I think it's older. Well, she's married with kids, so
yeah,
she's probably older.
Yeah.
So, but I was like, she just says yes to everything. Whatever you say. You think I need more? I'm like, okay, you got to stop. This is like not, you got to stop. This is not.
That's crazy. So I wouldn't say I'll be like, whatever you want, but I definitely am super open to opinions, but I'll ask a lot of questions. So I'm like, okay, if you tell me what we're doing, like I want to know exactly why, what this is going to help, and what we're doing this for. You know, like my brain has to really analyze everything and understand what we're doing.
So when I tell you because I said so.
No chance. No way. I'd be like, but why do you think that? Why, you know, what's the reason behind this? I gotta know.
Shelby, just trust. Right?
Trust.
So let's pretend that like mixed became a thing at like the 1000s, right? And people started to promote more mixed and more events were happening.
Mixed doubles.
Yes. Number one, would you play? And number two, who would be your dream partner other than the big three?
Okay, mixed events, I'm all
Mixed
for.
doubles.
Mixed doubles?
Yes.
I've played one time in my life, and I'm gonna call him out right now. Bradley Klon, we played at the US Open, and we played Kudryavtseva, sorry, butchered her name, and Qureshi. So like doubles.
Players.
Very good doubles players. And we had a set point in the first set, and a middle ball, he's lefty, right? So we both have a forehand. And I go, mine. And he takes the forehand and he shanks it into Ash Stadium like I've never seen a ball go that far in my life. And I think I'm scarred from that. No, we had so much fun. But for me, playing mixed doubles, it's just about scheduling. Like it becomes a lot of tennis. If you're winning a lot of singles matches and you're playing doubles, and then on top you have mixed, you're playing like 20 matches a week, you know what I mean? So it just becomes, and remember you said I'm getting old, so it just becomes a lot of tennis.
I didn't say that. I said
that. But, so probably I would not play, but listen, if I had to play, Jack Sock or John Isner, for sure. I mean, they're like some of the most amazing doubles players,
Get in line. I mean, like everyone's going to pick Jack Sock, best doubles player ever to play the game.
Yeah.
Period.
But like John Isner too, you're gonna get a lot of free points on the serve, you know, or even like, I mean, Riley doesn't play too many doubles, but it would be fun. It'd be like, yeah, I look great at the net.
Right. You won't have to volley.
Yeah.
You'd be like, you fake poach.
Yeah, exactly. I can do whatever I want. I look great. Yeah, I got to stick with the Americans there for sure.
I got you. Well, thank you for joining us, Shelby. It's been fun. Always fun talking to you. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks, Kamau.
All right. Thank you.